Get 2 free workouts by clicking the link in the top right hand corner of this video and jumpstart your workout regimen today. What's up guys, Tony Watson from ProTrainBB.com, and today I got 3 of the biggest mistakes in your shooting form. So let's get right into it. Alright guys, so before I get into this video, make sure you follow us on Instagram where we're giving you guys daily videos, drills, and moves that you guys can add to your game. So the 3 mistakes that we're going to go over today all stem from the same problem and they all have the same fix. So they usually come from not being strong enough. And when it comes to shooting, if you're not strong enough, you basically can't shoot with the right form, get the right elevation, get the right accuracy, and ultimately have a consistent jump shot until you build that strength. So today I'm going to show you guys those 3 mistakes, and then I'm going to show you the one drill that you can do on this consistent basis every single day that'll help you build that muscle memory, the strength in your arms, and get you used to using your legs so that you can have that jump shot, that pure form that you see all the NBA players with. So let's get into the first problem. So the first and most common mistake that I see in a lot of youth basketball players is the elbow, specifically the shooting elbow. So if you're right-handed, usually you have your right elbows out, and if you're left-handed, you have your left elbow out. Now before I get real in depth on this, this is not a one thing fits all kind of mistake. So there are some guys who become really great shooters who do have their elbow out. All right, so if this is you and you do make a lot of shots on a consistent basis, I would say you should keep that form. But if you're a guy who's still searching for their form and looking for consistency, you got to work on getting that elbow in and under your shot and not out. Now, like I mentioned before, the reason why your elbow is out is probably due to a strength issue. So if you're not strong enough, it's harder for you to get your elbow in and shoot with the proper form because you don't have the strength in your tricep, you don't have the strength in your shoulders. So when most of those shots look like, you kind of come out here with your shot, your elbows are out, and you use this momentum of pushing to get enough power to shoot the ball. And that's the only way that you can generate enough force and enough strength is to have your elbow out and push kind of like a pass instead of a shot. So when this is the case, you lack accuracy, you lack consistency, because on your follow through, just look at it without a basketball. On your follow through, your elbow's out, your follow through goes to the side, which in turn your shot will go to the side. But if your elbow is in and underneath your shot, your follow through will go straight towards the basket, and as long as all your other mechanics are right, the ball will be more accurate and you're going to shoot in a straight line. After that, you just got to aim the right way. Mistake number 2 that I see in a ton of basketball players is a low release point. And what I mean by that, I'll turn sideways for you guys, is for a lot of good jump shooters, they get that ball up and over their head and their release point is high. But for a lot of youth players, their release point is very low and it's down here. All right, so the problem with that is that means that your shot is easier to get blocked. All right, so you have a lower release point, which means defenders who usually don't block shots have the potential of blocking that shot when that release is lower. Another problem with that is that you also have a lot of things that are involved in the shooting form. So when you come down from this area here, you start to get a lot of your chest muscles are involved. Obviously your shooting form isn't perfect because the shot is lower, and those kind of things add other variables to the shot when you should be having a pure, consistent jump shot that is smooth and above the head. Now, with that being said, there are guys who have lower release points who are great shooters. Just think about guys like Steph Curry. He has a much lower release point than a guy like Klay Thompson, but they're both one of the 2 best shooters in the NBA. All right, so having a low release point isn't a terrible thing, but if you are at the beginning stages of your career and you can develop that higher release point, more like a guy like Klay Thompson, Ray Allen, JJ Redick, those are things that you should aim towards instead of settling on a low release point. All right, so the third and biggest mistake that I see in a lot of youth jump shots is the usage of their guide hand. Now, a lot of purists and a lot of guys who've been around the game for a long time will all tell you that you're not supposed to involve your guide hand in the actual shooting motion, yet it's supposed to be there just to keep the ball balanced on your hand and make sure that you have an accurate shot. So when you can tell if you're using your guide hand is after you follow through on your shot. This is an easy way to tell, guys, is after you follow through on your shot, after you shoot and you hold your follow through, your right hand, if you're left-handed, or your left hand, if you're right-handed, should be pointing straight to the sky. None of the fingers should be followed through. All the fingers should be pointing straight up. If your thumb is followed through with the shot like this, then you can tell that your thumb was involved in the shooting motion. Or if your hand isn't straight up to the sky, it might be facing the rim, or I've also seen where it goes all the way out. Those are also indications that you're using your guide hand to shoot the ball. And the reason why this is a problem is because if you use your guide hand in your shot, that's just another variable that we've been talking about that is not always going to be consistent when you're trying to have an accurate jump shot. So the better you can eliminate those variables, like your elbow being out, involving your guide hand, maybe having a low release, the more you can eliminate those factors, the more consistent your jump shot would be, and the more accurate your jump shot would be as well. So get that guide hand out of there. Make sure you only use your dominant hand to shoot the ball, and that guide hand is pointed straight to the ceiling. So as I mentioned earlier, all three of those mistakes are probably a strength issue that you would develop when you were younger and you didn't have enough muscles to get the ball to the rim. So in order to fix that problem or correct these three mistakes, you have to do form shooting every single day. Now I say this a lot on our channel because it's so important to become a great shooter, is to simply get right in front of the basket, one basketball, and work on your form. All right, so what you have to do is you're gonna situate yourself right in front of the rim. And a lot of guys like to come in the gym and start shooting 3 points right away with no form work. They're just up there checking the ball. What you should do is work on your form shooting by getting your basketball, getting right in front of the rim, staying nice and close, putting the ball up where it should be with one hand, up where it should be, and work on your form. So each time you get the ball up over your head, you have a perfect follow through with that perfect backspin, and you knock the shot down. Once you make 5 to 10 shots, you can take a step back. Do the same thing. Put the ball up, have it above your head, shoot the ball with perfect form, knock down 5 to 10, take another step back. And as you go further back, remember to get your legs involved. Shooting power all comes from your legs. So when you're shooting up close, you might not need as much leg strength. You can just kind of bounce a little bit to get the ball to the rim. Once you start stepping back further, you may have to use more of your legs to get the ball to the rim. And that's the same thing with your real shot. So make sure you have that ball up and over your head. You bend down, you get that little dip so you can get your power into the shot, and you follow through. Once you go to probably the furthest you can by shooting the ball with one hand correctly, that might be the free throw line, that might be a step behind the free throw line. For my young guys, it might only be the second hash mark. If you can do whatever your distance is from that point with one hand to have perfect form, that's where you stop. After you do that, you step back in, you do the same exact thing, but now you add your guide hand. So now you're up close, you have your guide hand, you add that onto the shot, and you do the same form. So the shooting form should be the same, your guide hand should be the same. And what this drill does, as basic and as boring as it is, it develops that muscle memory in your triceps, it develops those muscles in your triceps and your shoulders, which you use in your shooting form, and it also gets you used to using your legs in your jump shot, which is where your power comes from. Alright guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up below, and then a comment, let us know what videos you guys want to see, and we'll be sure to bring those to you. Make sure you follow us on Instagram and come back next Monday. We'll have a new video for you guys then. Until then, perfect your game. Peace.